The acting executive director of CLEEN Foundation, Ruth Olofin, has said activities of party thugs, hate speech publication, partisanship, lack of synergy among party agents, among other vices, are likely to be witnessed at the forthcoming Osun State Governorship election.
The Election Security Support Center, ESSC, of the CLEEN Foundation will be observing the conduct of security agencies deployed and other related incidences for the election slated to hold on Saturday, 16th July 2022. CLEEN Foundation conducted an election security threat assessment in Osun State, and this report assessed the security environment for the 2022 governorship election in Osun State. The threat assessment focused on election risk factors that could negatively impact election security and cause electoral violence. CLEEN's ESTA observed high expectations of a peaceful election in the states. This perception is widespread across Osun State with an aggregate approval rating of 78.5%. More so, despite this positive outlook epitomized by the high optimism for peaceful elections, CLEEN Foundation also observed indicators that could constitute electoral risk that could trigger violence during the elections. These findings include the activities of party thugs, which stood at 85.9%, the partiality of security agencies, 83.5%, widespread availability and use of hard drugs at 82.7%, broadcasting and publishing of hate speech, 81.9%, the prevalence of misinformation and fake news, 80.9%, poor training and low professionalism of security agents, 80.4%, undue influence of money, 79.5%, partisanship, favoritism, partiality, and sensationalism of the press, 78.7%, activities of immigrants and unregistered voters, 71.7%, citizens' disaffection with the government, 70.6%, problems associated with continuous voter registration, 70.3%, inadequacy or excessive presence of security agents, 70.1%, and problems associated with the deployment of security agents at 70.1%.
Olofin, who stated this at the CLEEN Foundation preliminary press briefing ahead of the Osun State governorship election, recommended that all stakeholders must pay close attention to all activities during and after the election to ensure a peaceful conduct of the process.
CLEEN commends the synergy and cooperation currently witnessed between INEC and the various security agencies in the build-up to the June 16 election in Osun State. The Foundation appeals to all stakeholders to support security personnel to achieve the uphill task of securing the lives and properties of citizens during the elections. In line with the above findings from the security threat assessment conducted by the CLEEN Foundation, the Foundation recommends that key actors in the electoral processes, particularly INEC, political parties, security agents, mass media, and civil society organizations, need to pay increased attention to the identified risk factors to tackle them headlong through the various duty bearers. The early warning signs identified in the ESTA report should be seen as a priority by various authorities to take early action to avoid violence in the elections.
Also, while fielding questions from newsmen, the head of the Monitoring and Evaluation of CLEEN Foundation, Nnamdi Udo, revealed that the organizations conducted election security threat assessment to evaluate the election risk factors and keep Nigerians abreast with the development around every election in the country.
CLEEN Foundation conducts election security threat assessments ahead of every election, basically to assess what we call electoral risk factors and how people perceive them ahead of the election. We have a methodology which was developed together with the Electoral Institute of INEC we have a tool which we deployed in Osun State to collect citizens' perception. So we trained our field workers, which we deployed across the local government in Osun State to collect citizens' perception around these electoral risk factors.